This is a video on solving an equation with fractions. The first step if you have an equation with fractions is to first find the LCD of all fractions that appear in the equation. Once you have that, you want to multiply that LCD to every term of the equation, regardless if that term is a fraction or not. Once you've done this, this will clear fractions. After this step, you want to distribute to remove any parentheses that appear, and then use addition or subtraction to move the terms containing the variable to one side of the equation. And in the last step, use multiplication or division to isolate the variable on one side of the equation. Let's take a look at an example. So we're asked to solve 1/4 times x plus 7 is equal to 2/5 times x minus 3 plus 1. So since we have an equation with fractions, our first step is to determine the LCD. And in this case, the LCD is equal to 20. Right? It's the smallest number that 4 and 5 can both go into evenly. Once you have the LCD, we want to multiply it to every term. And pay attention to how many terms are in this equation. There's actually 3 terms. Right? This is the first term, this is the second term, and that would be the third term. So we want to multiply 20 to each of the terms. So we're going to have 20 times 1/4 times x plus 7. And notice we're only multiplying by 20 once here because that's all one term. Is equal to 20 times 2/5 times x minus 3. And then we have a plus 20 times the last term here, which is 1. Once we do this, we're actually going to use cancellation to eliminate fractions. So 20 and 4 cancel to a 5. And with 5 times 1 here in front, so this will be 5 times x plus 7 is equal to, here 20 divided by 5 is going to give me a 4, so 4 times 2 will have 8 times x minus 3, plus this last term is 20 times 1, so it'll just be plus 20. And notice we've cleared our fractions. If you don't clear fractions after this step, it means you didn't pick a good LCD, and you should go back and find the true LCD. Once we're here, we're ready to distribute and solve as normal. So 5 times x will give us 5x. 5 times a positive 7 gives us plus 35 is equal to 8 times x, which gives us 8x. 8 times a negative 3 gives us negative 24, just distributing 8 through, and then plus 20. We'll combine like terms on the same side of the equation. So 5x plus 35 is equal to, this is 8x, and a negative 24 plus 20 is a negative 4, so 8x minus 4. I'll move my x's to the left-hand side, so I'll move 8x over, and I have to subtract 8x. Subtract 8x, I'm left with negative 3x plus 35 is equal to negative 4. And I want to isolate x on the left side, so I'm going to subtract 35 from each side. And I'm left with negative 3x equals negative 39. I'm just going to bring this up here. We got negative 3x equals negative 39. And to solve for x, we want to divide by the coefficient. So we're going to divide by negative 3 and divide by negative 3, and we get x equals a negative divided by negative, make it positive, and 39 divided by 3 gives us 13. So the answer here would be x equals 13. You can always check this by substituting 13 into your original equation and making sure both sides are equal. And you can see, if we check quickly, 13 plus 7 up in here would be 20. 20 times 1/4 is 20 divided by 4 would be 5. And on this side, you'd have 13 minus 3 is 10. 2/5 times 10 would be 2 times 10 would be 20 divided by 5 is 4, plus 1 would also be 5. So it does check. You can always check these on your own. And if you continue on, you can try this example here on your own.